Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So for those who have just arrived, tonight's topic is how we are all part of Krishna's family. And we're hearing chapter 15, verse 7 of Bhagavad Gita. Mamai vangsha jivaloke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manakshashtanindriyani prakritisthani karshati. Krishna says, the living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. So we are on part 2 of Srila Prabhupada's purport. And then Raghunandan, you will sing again after this next excerpt. Very good. Very good. Can I get 5? Haribol. The word karshati, struggling or grappling hard, is very significant. The conditioned soul is bound up as though shackled by iron chains. One is bound up by false ego, and the mind is the chief agent which is driving one in this material existence. When the mind is in the mode of goodness, one's activities are good. And when the mind is in the mode of passion, one's activities are troublesome. And when the mind is in the mode of ignorance, one travels in the lower species of life. But it is clear, however, in this verse, that the conditioned soul is covered by the material body with mind and senses. And when liberated, this material covering perishes, and one's spiritual body manifests itself in its individual capacity. So this spiritual body, that is your original you in Krishna's family. That spiritual body is now covered. And covered by this body which you see in the mirror every day. It's just like if you put on a glove. The glove looks like the hand, but the actual hand is different from the glove. In the same way, this body is different from your real spiritual body. And when you return back to Krishna, your original spiritual body is revealed once again. It is uncovered. When a living entity gives up this material embodiment and enters the spiritual world, he or she revives one's spiritual body. Means it's already there. It just needs to be revived. And in that spiritual body, one can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. Just as I'm seeing Rosie right now, face to face. One day, you can see Krishna face to face. Or Ram, depending on who you like. Who wants to see Krishna face to face? Who wants to see Ram face to face? Oh, you want both? Then you need Lord Chaitanya. Because Lord Chaitanya can manifest any form. One time he did that. One time, Lord Chaitanya was in ecstasy for 72 hours, and each devotee would come and say, I want to see this form, and Lord Chaitanya would manifest it. So you need to all worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One can hear and speak to Krishna face to face and can understand him as he is. In the spiritual planets, everyone lives in bodies featured like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As far as bodily construction is concerned, there is no difference between the part and parcel living entities and the expansions of Vishnu Murti. In other words, at liberation, the living entity gets its spiritual body by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So everything is dependent upon Krishna's grace. Part 3. The word Maimam Bangsha, fragmental parts and parcels of Krishna, are also very significant. The fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord is not like some material broken part. We have already understood in chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita that the spirit cannot be cut into pieces. This fragment is not materially conceived. It is not like matter, which can be cut into pieces and joined together again. That conception is not applicable because of the Sanskrit word sanatana. Everybody, eternal. The fragmental portion is eternal. It is also stated in the beginning of the 2nd chapter that in each and every individual body, the fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord is present. That fragmental portion, when liberated from the bodily entanglement, revives. The Prabhupada used this word again, revives its original spiritual body in the spiritual sky. You already have your original form in a spiritual planet and enjoys association with the Supreme Lord. It is, however, understood here that the living entity, being the fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is qualitatively one with the Lord. Qualitatively, meaning Krishna is spirit and you and your spiritual form is spirit. This is not your spiritual form. This is your glove. This is your car. You all drove here in a car, correct? You are different from your car. You drove in the car, you got out of your car. So in the same way, this is your car. And upon death, you'll go out of this car into a new one. Or if you go back to Krishna, you revive your true spiritual form. So the part and parcel is qualitatively one with the Lord, just as the parts and parcels of gold are also gold. Everybody chant the Maha Mantra one time.